In today's Girl Emerge podcast episode, we're diving into a fun and exciting topic that's all about growth, achievement, and momentum, which is strategic planning for success. My absolute favorite. So get ready to learn how to set smart goals, craft actionable plans, and track your progress to ensure steady growth in your business. So guys, if you're looking to crush your goals in this next season and level up your life, then this is the episode for you. Let's make planning for success exciting, shall we? Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Girl Emerge podcast. It's your girl, Michelle Hill. And let me tell you, I am absolutely fired up for today's episode because we're talking about strategic planning for success. Now, I know some of you are already thinking, planning sounds kind of boring, Michelle. But wait, stick with me because we're going to make planning fun and bring all the energy into setting goals and smashing milestones. Not a lot of us realize how important this is. So let's get into it. Now, this episode is going to be packed with tips and tricks that will help you not just dream about success, but plan for it and achieve it and actually show up for it with bells and whistles on, with glitter and pink lotion and looking good and smelling good and being happy about the success that you're achieving because you actually set goals, and the confidence that you're feeling because you feel like a boss. So can we get into it? You guys know what to do. Grab your coffee, grab your tea. Maybe you have a smoothie this morning. I don't know. Whatever gets you in a goal crushing mood. Put your hair in a messy bun and let's dive in. So first things first, let's talk about why you even need a plan. All right. We're going to talk more about the power of a strategic plan, aka your roadmap to awesomeness. Imagine trying to take a road trip across the country with no GPS, no map, no snacks. OMG. I would just absolutely pull over and die. That is the worst nightmare for me. You'd get lost real quick, right? I think we all will. I know we all will. Well, running your business or your life without a strategic plan is kind of like that. So you might eventually get somewhere, but it's going to be a long and confusing journey. I promise you, because I did something like this a very long time ago and it was a nightmare. I tried to work off of my memory, a lot like how I live my life now. And guys, listen, we're here to avoid chaos at all costs in our next season of life. We've already gone through all the weird relationships or situationships or the false ships or the lying shifts. We've already done all of that, but we don't want to do that anymore, right? We want to have something strategic be a part of our life, a part of our journey, so that we can actually get somewhere and stop repeating these same toxic cycles in our lives, in our businesses, and in all the things. Okay? So strategic planning is like your personal GPS. It's the roadmap that guides you from where you are right now to where you actually want to be. So if you've got big dreams and you have humongous goals, and I know you do because you're listening to the Girl Emerge podcast, it's time to get strategic about how you're going to really make them happen this season, not next season, not last season, not 5 years from now season, but this season. How are we going to make this stuff happen? But don't worry, guys. This isn't about getting stuck in the details. We're talking about goal setting that really feels empowering and energizing. Because, girl, you're about to be unstoppable. I feel it. We are rising up. We are rising up above the obstacles and the mental torment that we've all been experiencing and the conditioning. We're about to rise up above all of that because women are now understanding their worth. They're understanding their real positioning and power. And they're doing amazing, amazing things. And we're saying no to the toxicity, but we're being very intentional about where we're going in life. And listen, there is no greater time than this for Girl Emerge. I'm so excited about our entire movement. All right, so let's get some SMART goals set. And guys, listen, yes, you can do this. Okay, let's get into the heart of today's message, setting those epic goals that are going to change the game for you. We're going to use what's called the SMART framework. And I know it sounds all technical, but trust me, this is where the magic happens. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. SMART, like literally, like SMART. And I'm going to break it down and give you some examples because I really want you guys to walk away today with at least one SMART goal that you are ready to crush. Okay, let's go. Number 1 is specific. Specific. Your goals need to be extremely clear. So you can't just say, man, I want to grow my business. And that's it. That's too vague, guys. I cannot even lie about the number of women that I've coached over the years. That's their main statement. I want to grow my business. Some of them don't even know what that looks like to grow their business from different angles. Like they have no clue. They just have this idea drawn up in their head that they want this big grown business. They want this big girl business. But how many of you know that that is the most vague thing that you can think or say? Because growing a business is just so much more than just having a large presence of a business. There's so many webs and things and little spiders and all sorts of stuff in that web that you weave in order to grow this business. So that's way too vague. Let's get out of that mindset. Let's be intentional. Girl Emerge Tribe is so much about being intentional. It's about being specific. So our mantra is a really big part of our goals needing to be clear and being specific and being intentional. That's it. That's all I want us to do. Be specific, be intentional, because I tell you, once we grasp that, guys, oh, we can change the world. We're already doing it. All right. So instead of saying, I want my business to grow, I want to grow my business, I want you to instead say, I want to increase my social media following by 500 engaged followers in the next 30 days. You see how I did that? That's super specific. A lot of us are so afraid to be that specific because we feel like people are going to look down on us, or they're going to look at us as if we're crazy because we're being too specific. We're being too intentional. How many of you know that's the devil? That is the enemy. Never allow people to make you think that because you are so specific, because you are so intentional, that it's a bad thing, that it's a waste of time. So do you see how specific that is? I want to increase, and let me back that up. Let's back up, because you guys know that I'm all about affirmations and manifestations. I'm all about feeling it, seeing it, hearing it, believing it, and living in it as if it's already happening. So when I speak it, life and death lies in the power of the tongue. So when I speak it, I want to give it life. And I have to be very careful when I speak it as well, because I can also give it depth, followed by my thoughts and what's in my heart when I speak it. I hope you guys caught that just now. So I want to increase my social media following by 500 engaged followers in the next 30 days. So as I just spoke that, guys, I was seeing it. I heard it. I saw them coming in droves until I surpassed 500 engaged followers in the next 30 days. Let me give you the difference between engaged and another word. I don't even know what to say, but let me give you the one end of it where the grass is actually greener, and I'm going to give you the other side, right? 500 engaged followers. That means that I have attracted 500 organic engaged followers, meaning they are going to my website, they're asking questions, they're liking my post, they're doing more research on me, they're falling in love with what I have to offer, they're falling in love with me, they're learning how to trust me, they're more engaged, they're engaged. Let me show you where the grass is not as green, which is the other side. This is where I go into my inbox and I ask 500 people, or a little over 500 people, to feel sorry for me and like my page. And because they feel sorry for me, they have absolutely no interest in what I have to offer. They absolutely have no feelings for what it is that I have to offer, what I'm doing, what I'm saying. They don't care how I look. They don't care how I show up. They don't care how amazing my product is. They don't care what my website is doing. They don't care about nothing I have going on. But because they feel sorry for me, they're going to give me a like. They may follow me. But once they start getting the engagement from me, and then they discover, hey, I really don't like her. I really have no interest in what she has to offer. So I'm going to unfollow. That's not what we want, because the grass over there is very hard to water. It's some bad weed in that grass over there on the other side. I want to go where the grass is actually greener, and when I water it, it grows without the weeds. It's easier to maintain. So it's not just about getting 500 engaged followers. It's about getting 500 organic engaged followers. Because I promise you guys, one of the easiest things to do on social media is to ask everybody to follow your page so that you can build that number and maybe get monetized, or maybe get your specific username because you have more than a certain amount of followers, and yada, 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 all the things. But once they see that they're not interested, listen, I've had it happen to me many times. Didn't so-and-so used to follow me? Didn't they like my page a couple of years back? But once they saw that I started posting, they saw that they weren't interested in what I had to offer. Okay, I liked her page, but I'm gone. She's too annoying. I'm tired of seeing her content. So 500 engaged and organic followers is what you want. All right, but you have to be very specific as to how you go about getting them. Okay, and keeping them engaged. All right, number 2 is measurable. How will you know when you've hit that goal? Is it measurable? So in this case, it's actually easy to track the number of followers. Super easy. Pick a metric. Pick a metric that you can actually measure. It's really satisfying to see those numbers grow. I have to be honest. And when I see the numbers grow, guys, like right now, I'm very, very huge on being intentional. I'm extremely passionate about being intentional. I'm intentional about being intentional in this season because I see what works now. I actually care about it now. Before I didn't care about it. I thought that me just having the numbers would suffice. But I don't want just numbers. I want people that are literally loving what I do. I want them to see my content and want to see more of it. So then they follow, then they like, then they engage with me, then they join my mailing list. I want them to make the decision. I don't want to make the decision for them. So when I pick a metric and I say, and listen, my metrics are my numbers are small. They're not huge. I don't do the 500 followers and because to me, that's not realistic when it comes to growing an organic audience. Now, you may have a product or a service where it doesn't really matter what type of followers you get. Maybe, I don't know, that is possible. But I prefer to find people that are organic because I want people who are looking for, at Honey Milk, we want the health conscious consumer. People that are looking for what we have to offer in a way where they're like we're fixing their crisis. They have troubled skin that they're sick and tired of. Their kids are growing up and they have troubled skin and they feel bad for their kids. They don't want them to be bullied because of their skin. We want the people that stay up at night trying to find the best, most safest solutions to treat their acne, their eczema, their psoriasis. That is our ideal customer. That's our customer avatar. So when I talk about growing these numbers, I really want to pick something that is going to really bring in exactly who I want, because I hate to see my numbers grow and then they fall for whatever reason. I hate to see that. That's so disheartening. All right. So pick something that can actually be measured and pick something that is realistic. You can get to 500 one day, but start small. Don't start so high, especially if you're a new page or a new business. Okay. Next is achievable. Achievable is the A, that middle letter, the A in the word smart. Achievable. Be real with yourself. Don't set a goal that's impossible. Exactly what I was just talking about for measurable. Don't set a goal that's impossible. If you're new to social media, maybe 500 followers in 30 days is a stretch. It's quite a bit of a stretch. So start with something you can reasonably hit, like 100 new followers or 25 new followers, because the smaller the number is in the beginning, guys, you're more sure to hit it, and it's more inspiring for you to keep going, because all you have to do is repeat what you did to get those first 25 or the first 10 or the first 40. Do you understand? Start with something that you can reasonably hit. That is so important, because you don't want to overstretch yourself and disappoint yourself because you may not hit it in that 30-day time period. And we have to set a goal, a deadline. Make it challenging, but also make it possible. So next is relevant. What you're going to do with relevant is ask yourself, does this goal matter to the bigger picture? If growing your social media is going to help you connect with more customers, then absolutely, yes, it's relevant. Or if it's just because everyone else is doing it, then maybe it's time for you to refocus on something more meaningful. Okay? It needs to be relevant. What's relevant is what's going to last. It's going to make more sense. It's going to feel better. So stay relevant. Make sure that it is a part of the big picture. That's why I always tell people to pick the end result and work backwards. Is it a part of the big picture? And I will be so honest in saying it's very easy to get distracted. Very easy to get distracted. And that's when we start to reach. We start trying to mimic our competition. And then it's no longer a part of our vision. Everything that we're doing is no longer a part of our vision. All right. So let's make sure that we are staying relevant in everything that we do. Next is time bound. Last one, time bound. You need a deadline, girl. Goals with no end date, they just float out there in space in la la land. So put a date on it. Whether it's 30 days, whether it's 60 days, whether it's 90 days, whatever makes sense to you, whatever is actually achievable, do that. It's what makes you comfortable, not what everybody else thinks you should do. Remember, start small, because once you achieve that small goal, you're going to feel like a champion, and it's going to push you and inspire you to achieve more and set larger goals and work really hard to achieve them. So time bound, set yourself a deadline. Now, how easy was that? That was so easy. So now that you've got a SMART goal that you can really get excited about, I want you to realize that it's so easy to repeat this process with whatever that you're putting out there, whatever you're presenting. Set a SMART goal. Wait, guys, because we're not stopping there. Now it's time to turn that goal into action. All right. This is the fun part, making your action plan. All right. This is where we get tactical. This is where, let's say, rubber meets the road. Okay. This is where the rubber meets the road, my friends. You've got your SMART goal. Okay. Now you need an action plan to get you from point A to point B. It's like breaking down a big task into smaller steps so you really don't get overwhelmed. And I think this is where we don't know how to eat the elephant that we so desire to have as our meal. We try to eat them all at once. No, the fastest way to eat an elephant is piece by piece. It's not about getting overwhelmed, because that's where we give up. We can't stay focused when we don't set goals and be intentional. And we can't stay intentional and annihilate these goals when we feel overwhelmed. All right. One thing in this entire SMART goals sector, guys, or training, specific leads to measurable. Measurable leads to achievable, so on and so forth. So it all works together. Okay. Now, let's take our example goal of increasing social media followers by 530 days. What actions do you need to take to make that actually happen? Ask yourself that. Maybe it's posting consistently 5 times a week, engaging with your audience for 30 minutes a day. You may want to run an ad campaign, a targeted ad campaign, or anything like that. But what is the action plan that's going to help you to make this happen? So here's the fun part. I want you to turn your action plan into an actual game. And you're going to challenge yourself to hit many milestones, MINI, many milestones along the way. For example, by week 1, you want to have gained 100 followers. And then you're going to actually reward yourself when you hit these targets. This is why I say, in order to stay motivated, it's good that you set the smaller goals in the beginning. Guys, we're all about celebrating the wins, the small wins at that. We never give ourselves enough credit because we just do things and just keep going and going and going and going. We never take time to slow down and smell the roses. All right, so pro tip, make your action steps super specific and time bound, just like your goals. This is what's going to keep you on track and gives you a clear path to the success that you seek. All right. Now, this next section is where we're keeping track of our progress, meaning keeping ourselves accountable. All right. You're in action mode, right? And things are happening. But how do you really know if you're actually making progress? This is where tracking comes in. And guys, there are so many tools out there to help you track your goals, but let me give you a simple way to get started. This works for me like you would not believe. One, you're going to create a weekly check-in with yourself. This is your team meeting, okay? Every week you sit down and you ask, am I on track? What's working? What's not working? So this is going to be your chance to adjust anything that you may need to adjust so that you stay on track. Maybe you need to ramp up your efforts, or maybe you've already hit your milestone and it's time to set even bigger goals. This is why those milestones are going to be very critical. And remember, ladies, progress isn't always a straight line. There will be setbacks, but that's okay. As long as you're consistently moving forward, I promise you're winning. So let's wrap this up, girl. You got this. I promise you do. Let's bring it on home. Strategic planning might sound serious, but I really hope you're feeling pumped about setting some goals and making things happen. Finally, remember, the key is to start small. The key is to stay focused and move forward. You don't need to have it all figured out right now. Just take it one step at a time. And I'm going to leave you guys with this. Your dreams are 100% possible when you combine them with intentional, smart goals and an action plan that fires you up. It keeps you motivated. It keeps you inspired. So go ahead, get out there, guys. Crush those goals. Okay? If you've loved this episode, please share it with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an update. And also join our Girl Emerge tribe on Facebook. It's a group where you get to connect with other women who are on this goal crushing journey with you. Guys, I cannot wait to hear about your goals that you're really going to achieve this time. All right. Until next time, ladies, stay bold, stay motivated, and keep emerging into the woman you're destined to be. Talk soon, guys.